Welcome to Breakthrough ABA, where we are unlocking potentials every day. Today marks the beginning of your journey with us, and we have a comprehensive new hire orientation planned to help you get acclimated to our culture, values, and the exciting work we do here. Let's get started and make this a great beginning to your new role at Breakthrough. Welcome. We're so stoked to have you with us. Your energy and skills are exactly what we need, and we can't wait to see the amazing things we'll achieve together. Feel at home, ask anything, and let's make work a blast. Agenda overview. Today we will be discussing about our company, our vision and mission, new hire training and expectations, important policies and procedures, and employee benefits. About our company, we're not just a workplace. We're a close community driven by innovation and diversity. We're a Houston based ABA clinic that is rapidly growing. Join us on making a positive impact in our clients' lives. Welcome to a place where your ideas count, your growth matters, and together we're building something extraordinary. Our vision defines our purpose, and our mission guides us. Our vision is a world that empowers children with developmental challenges to be recognized for their strengths and build communities that enable them to thrive. Our mission is to create a welcoming environment for children with behavioral and developmental challenges to receive a high quality, evidence based treatment. Company culture is important to us. Knowing what is valued and expected helps our new hires navigate this new environment more confidently and fosters our sense of unity. Collaboration and inclusivity. We believe that diverse perspectives drives creativity and every voice is valued. Expect a workplace where your ideas are not only heard, but actively encouraged. Continuous learning and growth. We embrace a culture of continuous learning. Your professional growth is a priority, and we provide resources, mentorship, and opportunities for skill development. Open communication and transparency. Communication is at the heart of our culture. We believe in transparency and open dialogue at all levels. The leader behind it all. Heba Salem is Breakthrough ABA's founder and CEO with a deep passion for supporting children with autism. She earned her master's degree in developmental psychology and education from the University of Toronto, Canada, and her ABA graduate coursework was completed at the esteemed University of North Texas to become a BCBA. She has well-rounded experience in direct clinical interventions, training, consulting, coaching, and teaching. She now leads the organization and drives its growth to positively change lives. Let's get to know the founder through a couple of insightful answers. We asked our founder, Heba Salem, what inspired you to start Breakthrough ABA? She responded with, I started Breakthrough ABA because I wanted to offer the communities where we operate access to an organization that is solely focused on the client and their most optimal outcomes. My goal in establishing Breakthrough ABA was to ensure that families who seek our services feel valued and know that by accessing our services, we are joining them in their mission to help their child unlock their fullest potential. Second insightful answer. Share a memorable moment in which you noticed a positive impact in a client's life. Heba's answer was, Applied behavior analysis is a hugely rewarding career, so I have been fortunate enough to experience countless moments when our services have made a meaningful and lasting change to a child's life. I have to say that what stands out to me the most when a child doesn't have a functional way to communicate finds their voice. Communication is vital to an individual's ability to access the world around them. When a functional system of communication is found, whether it is their voice or an augmentative device, you can see how their whole world opens. Question number 3. What advice would you give an employee that is new to Breakthrough ABA? Heba's answer was, working in ABA is not always easy, but it is immensely rewarding. Our goal is to ensure you are set up for success regardless of your role in the organization. Never hesitate to reach out and ask for help, more training, and or more support. Is there something that would make you more confident in your skill set? Are you interested in opportunities to learn more or grow your knowledge about ABA? Let us know. Now let's proceed to the next section. New hire training, what to expect. Primarily, I'll briefly review the clinical roles within the organization. It starts with our leader, Dr. Lauren Lanier. She's a BCBAD and LBA and our Executive Clinical Director. She supervises our BCBAs and clinical services. As you see in the org chart to the right, we have our clinical supervisors who are also BCBAs. They supervise our RBTs and BTs and develop client ABA programs. To the right of that, we have our behavior technicians, referred to as BTs, and our registered behavior technicians, referred to RBTs. They are the ones who are working directly with the clients, implementing the client ABA programs that the clinical supervisors develop. And then to the far right, of course, we have our clients, who are the ones who are receiving ABA therapy and transforming their behaviors. Now we'll briefly review our administrative roles. We have our founder, Heba Salem, as the leader of the organization as CEO. She oversees all aspects of operations, strategically develops the organization, and drives overall growth. The other two administrative roles you will engage with often is our operations manager role. This role schedules client sessions, manages employee schedules, and oversees daily office operations. Then we have our HR manager. This position provides employees with guidance and support, benefits administration, policy implementation, and also oversees recruiting. Now we'll briefly review the platforms that you'll mainly be using. The first one to the left is Outlook. Outlook is used for your work email, your Teams chats, and overall file organization. It's important that whether it's through Teams chat or through Outlook, that everyone is being responsive to communication and responds at least by the next business day. The second main platform is Rethink. This is where you're going to collect client data and where you also track your time and develop your timesheet. In Rethink, it's important that as you're having sessions with your clients, that you're acquiring client data and writing session notes daily. Next is your payroll and benefits platform, Gusto. You may be familiar with it already since you may have onboarded through there. The ongoing purpose that it serves are for two main things, payroll and benefits. For payroll, that's where you may access your pay stubs, you can make direct deposit updates, you could access your tax forms or make tax updates as well, or submit time off requests. For benefits, you may enroll in health insurance, qualifying event changes, and also enroll in the 401k retirement plan. All of those, of course, are as applicable. Training is essential to acquire the skills to be successful in your role. There are different training pathways depending on your role. This first one being for a behavior technician, also known as BT. It is an engaging blend of online and in-person training. First, you will be assigned a 40-hour RBT training. It is completely online, self-paced, and it's completed on Rethink. Number two, after you complete that training, is your hands-on training. You work directly with BCBAs to learn those technical skills. And the third step is shadowing sessions. So you will be scheduled to shadow experienced BTs and RBTs working with clients. The second pathway is for an RBT. It is a dynamic combination of in-person training and shadowing. First, an RBT will train in person with an experienced BCBA to develop their technical skills. Next, just like a BT, you have the opportunity to shadow experienced RBTs and BCBAs working with clients. The third component is completing an RBT competency assessment which is done within the first 2 weeks. Our BCBAs are leaders of the organization that are designing ABA programs, ensuring clinical excellence, and supervising our clinical team. So it is vital to provide multifaceted training. This training includes working with the clinical director and the operations team. Operationally, the training includes reviewing strategies for team leadership and billing excellence. It also includes administrative skills, so reviewing the report and client documentation templates used. There's ongoing education, where research methodologies and continued education opportunities are discussed and implemented. Technology and tools, ABA software training, and tools to enhance service delivery. Let's proceed to the next section, policy and procedures. Here at Breakthrough, we promote a respectful and cohesive work environment from the start. Act with integrity. Upholding respect, integrity, and professionalism is at the core of our code of conduct, ensuring a safe and inclusive workplace. Communication guidelines. Respectful and collaborative communication is encouraged through regular team updates, meetings, and management. Professional boundaries. We prioritize establishing clear and professional boundaries with clients and employees to contribute towards effective and quality service delivery. Compliant practices. Confidential and compliant practices ensure interventions are safe, appropriate, and beneficial to protect clients from harm and promote positive outcomes. Professional conduct. Here are some of the most important policies pertaining to professional conduct in the workplace. Client conversations. If a client contacts you about the client program, office policy, and insurance or financial questions, please make sure you refer them to the BCBA. In addition to that, refrain from oversharing your personal life information. This makes sure that professional boundaries help stay intact. Home environment. It's important to always remain respectful of the client's home and their customs. This includes greeting customs, coordinating session to allow for dinner or prayer, and dietary restrictions. No dual relationship. That means that you cannot agree to any services or relationships that are not a part of your regular responsibilities. This includes babysitting, pet or home sitting, tutoring, or even friendship outside of the workplace. Daily cleanup. All therapists are required to complete daily cleanup checklists for the last 15 minutes of each day. This includes wiping down toys and materials that were used during session, removing icons from visual schedules, and putting all client materials back into bins. Workplace attire. Dressing appropriately will ensure that you're comfortable and safe while performing your position. For clinical staff, this includes wearing comfortable clothing. Comfortable pants are a must. Considering the nature of the position, you're working with children, so feeling comfortable and being agile is important. Also ensuring that the pants do not have stains, no rips, no leggings, no athletic shorts. Comfortable tops. Tops that are not revealing, not sheer, and no thin straps or halter tops. Closed-toed shoes are a must to ensure the safety for you and for the client. So no sandals and no heels allowed. Administrative staff. Casual and professional is the way to go, but also being mindful for no stains and no rips. Jeans, slacks, and dresses are also appropriate, ensuring that it is not faded and that bottoms are not short. Regardless of the clothing or position, it's also important to be mindful that there are no political, offensive, personal messages or logos on any attire. Gift policy. Although gifts may be customary to accept, it's important to be mindful of accepting gifts within ABA. Gifts can create a sense of obligation or favoritism, which might compromise the objectivity and integrity of the therapeutic relationship. It's important to be mindful to not accept any gifts from a client, parent, guardian. This includes money, items of value, discounts or favors, payments for travel or food, even for holidays or birthdays. The appropriate response, should you be offered a gift, is to remind the client of the policy and graciously decline. If you need any additional support in communicating this message, please ensure you contact your supervisor. Acceptable items to accept are handmade drawings from a client, trophies or plaques, or campaign or charity contributions. Client session settings. ABA therapy is applicable and provided in various settings. The first one being the school. This would be providing ABA therapy to the client while they're in their classroom. Another option is the clinic. This is when clients are dropped off at the clinic for their session. There's home. So this is when therapy is provided in the client's home, whether it may be in their living room, kitchen, backyard, whichever specified area is used for that therapeutic environment. And also the community. This includes a client outing, whether it's to a store or a park. Important client session procedures. It's very important to be mindful of the two-adult policy. An employee is never to be alone in a building or home with the client. Another adult, parent, or guardian should be present in the home, clinic, or school at all times. If for any reason there is not a second adult, that is a perfect example of a time to use your phone to contact your direct supervisor immediately for additional support. Incident reporting. All accidents that take place need to be documented in an incident report and reported to your BCBA immediately. Mandated reporting. Reasonable suspicion or witnessing of child abuse and neglect are required by law to report. Separate training on mandated reporting and the signs to be attentive to will be provided. Always contact your BCBA for any further guidance. Session expectations. When an employee has a shift with a client, there are specific goals to target and notes that would provide insight into how the session went. Employees must complete the following at every session. The first being acquiring data throughout the session on various goals and targets. The second, write session notes using the notes template at the end of session. And lastly, convert the appointment session at the end and no later than 24 hours of the session time. Attendance policy. Attendance is crucial because consistent and reliable service delivery is essential for the effectiveness of our interventions. Employees are expected to maintain a minimum attendance rate of 90% per month. Should you ever need to cancel a session, you would need to complete the following steps. Email scheduling@breakthroughaba.com, CC the supervising BCBA, and the client's parent and caregiver. The notification email must include the following details: reason for cancellation, a makeup date option, any required supporting documentation as applicable. If the client's parent caregiver notifies you of a cancellation, employees should email scheduling@breakthroughaba.com and the supervising BCBA. This email should include the name of the parent caregiver that communicated the cancellation and the reason for cancellation. Make up session time. It's important that we commit to meeting the client's specified therapy hours, even when there are cancellations. Employee cancellation for sessions that were not covered by the floater RBT is to be made up by the employee canceling the session within 2 weeks of the canceled session outside the client's regular scheduled sessions. If an employee agrees to make up a session that is canceled by the family, that employee will be paid at a rate of 1.25% of their current hourly rate. For example, if your hourly rate is $18 an hour and you make up a client's cancellation, your rate for that session would be $22.50. Travel time pay and mileage reimbursement. Travel time, also known as drive time pay, is between job sites and if gap between the sessions is 2 hours or less. So you're compensated during that drive time, should you meet the criteria. Mileage is reimbursed at the IRS rate if the following criteria is met. It is only applicable if the distance from an employee's home to their job site and vice versa is more than 30 miles away. Then there is reimbursement for every mile above 30 miles. Pay periods and pay dates. The work week is Saturday at 12:01 a.m. through Friday at midnight. There is a biweekly payroll with pay dates on Fridays. This means that you'll get compensated every other Friday. If a pay date falls on a holiday, payment will be made the next business day. Employees must ensure accurate timekeeping and timely conversions. An example of a pay period and a pay date is if an employee works Sunday 5/5/24 through Friday 5/10/24, they will be paid for those hours worked on pay date Friday 5/17/24. Employee benefits. Your journey with us is not just about work. It's about thriving both personally and professionally. Welcome to a workplace that cares about you. Employee classifications. Primarily, benefits apply to two different classifications within the organization. It's whether you're part-time or full-time. For part-time, non-exempt part-time are employees who work 29 hours or less per week. They also earn hourly wages and are eligible for overtime, should it exceed the regulations for overtime. Employee classifications. Primarily, benefits apply to two different classifications within the organization. It's whether you're part-time or full-time. A part-time, non-exempt employee works 29 hours or less per week, earns hourly wages, and is eligible for overtime. There is no exempt part-time classification, and part-time employees are only eligible for part-time benefits. Full-time non-exempt employees are employees who work 30 to 40 hours per week. They earn hourly wages and are eligible for overtime. Exempt full-time are employees who work 40 hours per week. They earn a salary and are not eligible for overtime. Full-time employees are also eligible for all employee benefits. Attendance bonus. This is an employee benefit. Attendance bonus. This is an employee benefit for part-time and full-time employees. The first tier is for $75. If an employee averages 20 to 25 billable hours per week, they may earn that bonus. The second tier is $100. If an employee averages 26 to 30 billable hours per week, they're eligible for a $100 bonus. The third tier is $150. If an employee averages 31 to 35 billable hours per week, they're eligible for that specific amount. And the fourth tier is $250. If an employee averages 36 or more billable hours per week, they're eligible for that bonus. Billable hours are hours worked directly providing services to clients and billed to insurance companies. Attendance bonus eligibility. So in order to be eligible for the bonus disbursement, an employee must meet the following criteria. The attendance rate of 95% or more is required for scheduled sessions in a calendar month. This does not include sessions that were canceled by families. All sessions of the month must be verified and appointments converted within 24 hours from the start of the session. All session notes of the month must meet session notes content standards. And lastly, you must meet the billable hours tiers, which was reviewed in the previous slide. Paid time off, also known as PTO. This employee benefit is specific for full-time employees only. PTO is used paid time off, also known as PTO. Employee benefit paid time off, also known as PTO. This is an employee benefit for full-time employees only. PTO is to be used for sick leave, relaxation, vacation, or to pursue special interest. PTO is earned on the first of the month after starting employment. Full-time employees will receive 8 hours of PTO. PTO can be used after a 90-day waiting period. And 25% of unused accrued PTO may be carried over to the next year. Next, we have unpaid time off, which is also known as UTO. This is an employee benefit for all employees. This is to be used by part-time employees and when all. Next is unpaid time off. Next is unpaid time off, also known as UTO. This is an employee benefit that applies for all employees. It's to be used for part-time employees and when all other paid leave, like PTO, is exhausted by full-time employees. Time off notice period. If you have any pre-planned time off, the time frames are as follows. If you need to request 2 days off or less, the notice period requirement is 48 hours. If you are taking 3 days off or more, the notice period is no less than 2 weeks. Any schedule request modifications must be emailed to scheduling@breakthroughaba.com, not through Teams app or any other app or platform unless otherwise expressly instructed. How to request time off. In this example, this individual has 24 hours available for their use, and they have a balance of 64 hours. This means that they have 40 hours that have been approved but not yet paid out. Please keep that in mind as you submit your request. Click on the Request Time Off button and then enter the date range. If any of the days you selected are partial days, go ahead and select that option and then enter the amount of hours per day accordingly. You can then write a note to your manager or the approver about the request, anything that would be helpful in reviewing it. Once you submit your request, your manager or the approver gets an email when you submit it. And then once they have updated your actual request, you will receive an email as well. It's important to submit all time off requests in Gusto. This includes PTO and UTO. Once it is approved, employees must notify their clinical supervisors and the families. This is important because at times, time off requests are reviewed by an operations team member. Leave may only be taken once approval is received through Gusto. Holidays. This is an employee benefit for full-time employees only. Full-time employees are eligible for 7 paid holidays. These recognized holidays include New Year's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day. Depending on an employee's schedule, they may be on call during a holiday. Any hours worked on a holiday are eligible for double time pay. Religious holiday. Employees may take time off for another religious holiday as well, as long as they notify their supervisor at least 30 days in advance. Health insurance. This is an employee benefit that applies only to full-time employees. There's medical benefits that are offered, which is health insurance that helps cover the cost of medical care, like a doctor's visit, medication. The company pays a portion of the premium, which reduces the overall cost for you and your family. Vision. The employer vision insurance helps reduce the cost of eye care. This includes eye exams or glasses. It is an affordable plan to reduce your out-of-pocket expenses. Dental. Dental insurance helps cover the cost of dental care. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns. This insurance lowers your out-of-pocket expenses through a network of participating dental providers. 401k plan. Prepare for retirement. This is an employee benefit for part-time and full-time employees. An employer 401k plan is a retirement savings benefit that allows you to contribute a portion of your pre-tax wages into a retirement account, which can grow tax-deferred over time. This plan not only helps you save for the future, but also offers tax advantages. If you have any questions, we encourage you to seek clarification on any aspect of your role, company culture, or about the company. Your questions are valuable, and we're here to ensure you feel confident and well informed. Let's make sure you're ready for the exciting journey ahead. Thank you, and welcome to the team.